I set out on my thru hike of the Appalachian Trail on the 1st of March from its southern terminus in Georgia, Springer Mountain. I didn't know what the next 2,194 miles would hold, or if I would even make it all the way, but I knew that it was going to be an adventure. I anticipated the hundreds of thousands of steps I would take, but I was yet to know that I would come to consider the trail home. I had heard about hiker hunger, but had no idea the absurd quantity of calories I'd be able to pound and the motivation that town food would provide. And most importantly, I'd heard of trail families, or trailies, but I had no idea how many people I would meet and come to consider lifelong best friends. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Georgia was a bitch. It was unseasonably hot, and without tree cover, I ended up with sun rash. I didn't have my trail legs yet, so every climb felt steep and exhausting, and I was struggling with the decision to leave the group I'd been hiking with. 52 miles in, I've been hiking with a group, but I think I'm gonna split off tomorrow. Today was our first 0 day. There was a man with a fucking pickaxe. He's been sexually harassing women. He was arrested at Blood Mountain, and then they let him out, and now he's ahead of me on the trail, and I'm sure we're gonna pass him, and I'm just fucking mad that as a woman I can't go anywhere without a man without feeling unsafe. So that's really fantastic. Despite my fears of hiking alone, I continued on and soon enough hit my first state border. Oh yeah, baby.
Take it easy, baby. Make it last all night. She was an American girl. Well, it was kinda cold that night. She stood alone on a balcony.
100 miles! Woo!
Yeah, she put it.
In Franklin, North Carolina, I joined my first tramway and learned just how fun trail can be when you share it with people you vibe with.
And for one desperate moment there, he cried. God, it's so painful. Something that is so close is still so far out of reach. Oh yeah, alright. Take it easy, baby. Make it last all night. She was.
And then there were the Smokies. The dull brown of the trees we gotten used to was replaced by green moss and pine, and we were welcomed with amazing views in our first impromptu 0 day in Gallenberg.
Okay. The zipper in the back is...
Starting this section, I'd been so close to quitting, but in the Smokies, between the land and the people, I'd fallen in love with the trail, and the Smokies remains one of my favorite sections. But don't worry, North Carolina and Tennessee didn't get any less beautiful.
Show me your friends, I show you the future. Show me your scars, I can help with the suture. I can't read, must mean I can sew. Well, I must say, you're in trouble. You're working with a surgeon who's working as a double. I have never stitched up my own, but I'm on my way. You know I'll be a doctor one day. If my father knew steps that I take, I'm on my way. Now she's down the street, sitting in sunshine, probably smoking weed and sipping on box wine. She knows me, but she calls me by a different name.
By Damascus, Prince Charming and I had split off from our original tramway and joined a new one. Little did I know, these would be the people I finished the trail with. Oh, and I shaved my head. As a NOBO or northbound hiker, word on trail is that Virginia is flat.
Do not believe these lies. Virginia is beautiful with rolling fields and stunning climbs. Virginia is not rugged, but it is not flat.
If she only knew.
Beyond the terrain, Virginia was characterized by an immense amount of tramway fun.
Something my day.
Hello.
On my way.
In Roanoke, my dad and aunt came out to visit and hosted the whole family for a few nights at an Airbnb. Zeroing and slack packing was just the break our minds and bodies needed. Plus, it was so much fun getting to hike with my dad, cook, and, call me a basic bitch, get Starbucks. After saying goodbye to family, we only spent another couple days in the woods before being hosted by Sunny and Josh in their beautiful home. Tratty and Trummy make puppy chow. We aquablazed in the Shenandoah River and then continued through 4 days of snow, rain, and incessant fog through Shenandoah National Park. The Shenies are known for their stunning views, almost none of which we got.
Struck a gold mine with your hand in mine. Our love came
Bigger question is like, what is your thought about a date?
The rest of our lives. The rest of our lives.
And just like that, we'd hiked 1,000 miles and hit the unofficial halfway point of the Appalachian Trail. This is where Sonic and Prince Charming would leave us to go chase down their careers. So we threw a final hurrah and double zeroed in Harper's Ferry and DC. Saying goodbye made getting back on trail the hardest it had ever been and ever was. I hiked out of Harper's Ferry late in the afternoon and alone. After 6 miles of the heaviest rain I'd experienced on trail, lightning, and copperhead scares, I arrived at camp only to realize I had to walk another mile to the water source. Praise Jesus and his 12 best carpenter friends that Crisp showed up and we continued to hike together. We hiked 30 miles to catch the rest of the tramley and realized that maybe the best way to quell the heavy sadness was to hike it away. This created a habit of hiking 20 plus miles every day that we didn't break until New Hampshire. Oh yeah, and then we hit Pennsylvania, the halfway point, and completed the half-gallon challenge.
Nice. I've never been prouder of myself in my life. Final time is 27:18.
Nice.
Spoiler alert, I hated Pennsylvania. It's called Rocksylvania for a reason, and my feet were destroyed.
Honk, bitch.
Waking up in different places. You wrap me up, let me inside. You're forever my oasis. My heart is home with you.
Today, my horn was being scared that Emma was gonna pass out on the side of the highway.
Lost, you stay behind. When I'm falling, you're my strength, yeah. Lift me up, you ease my mind. Forever
Despite the shitty terrain, we experienced so much kindness and trail magic in this state.
When all else fails, you by my side. Then tomorrow I can face it.
LB joined Crisp and I for a few days in New Jersey, which we quickly dubbed the Danger State because of the giant bears, rattlesnakes, and deer ticks. Between the lakes, town food, warm weather, and easy hiking, the Danger State felt like a summer vacation.
My heart is home with you. As long as the skies are blue. My heart is home with you. As long as the stars shine through. My heart is home with you.
We knew we were in New England because we were already hitting another state border.
New York!
Another state full of fun and lots of town food.
I got lost down in Rio. I was running from the FBI. Yeah, they had me on some charges back in San Antonio. I never got the reason why. I turned up in a casino.
My cousin Paul graciously invited us to his home in Beacon, New York. Fresh produce is sparse on trail, so how could we turn down a visit to the Big Apple while we were there?
I get high 'cause I want to. I get low every day. I get high.
Sure, I peed in the toilet that some drunk Yankees fans threw up in on the train. I feel dirty, and I don't think I'm a city girl.
Lose weight.
There's mango on my tongue. Also, this is a shoe update. Look how fucked up my shoes are right now. There's that, and then these are all coming off. And then this bottom part is so squishy. There's like no support, and also that. And also this. And also the certain part.
I know I said it, and I mean it. I am trying to change my life. When times get tough, yeah, the tough get hard. Cut me with a bug.
Yeah! Oh,
Welcome to Connecticut, baby. It finally started feeling like we were getting back up into some real mountains.
Oh, every day. I get high 'cause I want to. I gotta do something.
Reflecting on my experience on trail, I realized how impossible it is to capture and release to those who weren't there. The big things and themes are easy to romanticize and masterfully capture, but so much of what made the trail special, especially in New England, were the hour-long town stops, weird people and weirder trail magic offers, forced dress wearing due to ass crack chafing, and inside jokes, none of which translate well into art. Much of the trail is romantic, much is not.
I get high 'cause I want to. I get low every day. I get high 'cause I want to. I gotta do someday. High 'cause I want to. Oh, every day. High 'cause I want to. Gotta do something.
My mom came and visited just north of Great Barrington, which meant new shoes, town food, and a few nights in a bed. And And this was the sad, sad moment I realized I'd lost some of my blood.
1600. Look at this boulder.
It's not a boulder. It's a rock.
Staying with my mom was super restful. We wanted to summit Catan on July 23rd. We wanted to enjoy our last month on trail with smaller miles, meaning we had to bust our asses to make it to Hanover by June 23rd.
Smile, smile. Aww.
In classic crisp and Spidey fashion, we opted to take an unplanned Nero in Manchester and then push high 20s rather than low 20s into Hanover. Time Lord invited us to stay with her, and it was so much fun getting to see her again after a few stays. Chris got sick, but I was still able to slack catching Time Lords, and right after leaving her place, Zippy's friend Kayla warmly welcomed us in for a night in Rutland.
Something even smoking weed is not replacing. I am terrified of weather, cause I see you when it rains. Doc told me to travel, but there's COVID on the planes. And I love Vermont, but it's the season of the sticks. And I saw your mom, she forgot that I existed. And it's half my fault, but I just like to play the victim. I'll drink alcohol.
Ultimately, I came to the conclusion that
I love Vermont! Of some version of you that I might not have, but I did not lose. Now your tire tracks in one pair of shoes, and I'm split in half.
I'm really cold, but I'm really happy.
And then there was New Hampshire, my most anticipated state. Home to the White Mountains and widely agreed upon as the most beautiful stretch of trail, New Hampshire was the state I had been most excited to hike on the AT. I was so ready to be back in the Alpine.
Nothing makes me happier than tree line.
There's a lot I could say about the Whites, good and bad, but I think it's most fair to let them speak for themselves.
Part 2. This is what you hike 1,700 miles for. Oh, I farted, but it was silent.
Take your time, let the rivers guide you where you know where you can find me again. I'll be waiting here till the stars fall out of the sky.
If you can believe it, Maine was just as beautiful as New Hampshire. Maine! Our final state. Chris' parents flew all the way out from England to host us at an Airbnb in Bethel. They slack-packed my whiskey notch with us, and I had so much fun getting to know them. Saunas, movies, and a bed were all cherries on top as I spent my 4th of July with Brits for the first time.
You're really happy you want a cup of hands. You're really happy. You really want to show it. You're really happy you want a cup of hands.
Okay, first of all, you sing that song wrong.
I do.
We watch the sunrise through the windows of our car, passing giants on the road, standing guard in the dark. And I saw you, so then in secret.
Maine felt like home. The loons, the lakes, the bugs. It felt like Minnesota Northwoods or a big cozy hug.
Down below, we'll be keeping this, and I will let you cause I wanna be like the wind, I wanna run with you, we can be wolves, howling at the great white moon.
2,000 miles! With the promise of bad weather in the Bigelows, we took our final impromptu zero at the Maine Roadhouse Hostel, which we affectionately dubbed Jen and Jen's, after the amazing owners.
Get some air and all I got was air.
Thank you. I get what I want. Oh, you should know.
We wore onesies, watched movies, and had our final tramley dinner. A zero-day tradition we carried out whenever we had access to kitchen and the energy to cook.
I saw a speck of red.
And we left Jen and Jen's with Traffic Cone and Ready Mo, who quickly became our newest beloved tramley members.
Ask if there's still life on earth. Oh, 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 oh. There's a man that's on the moon who just re-upped his lease till June, 'cause he can see the smoke from where he is. And he's trying to make himself believe that everything down there's still green, and the good in people still exist. We may have to fill him in, for better or for worse, and tell him there's still life on earth. Oh, 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 there's life on Mars, are they gonna have to learn to ask if there's still life on Earth? We may have to fill him in, for better or for worse, tell them there's still life on Earth.
With just over 100 miles left, we reached Monson, and with it, our final hostel Shaw's, run by Hippie Chick and Poet. I celebrated my final new shoe day and feasted on Shaw's famous hiker breakfast. Upon shuttling us back to trail, hippie chick read us a haiku by poet. Drink your deepest now, for the richest stuff settles in the final swig. Entering the 100-mile wilderness, I thought about every step I'd taken to get there. My first week in Georgia, through the sun and heat. The snowstorms all the way up through Virginia. The laughs. And the tears. Even though my body ached from exhaustion as I took step after step through the wilderness, poet's words echoed through my head, and I did my best to savor every last sip.
My grandpa gave me a wheat penny and I kept it in my pocket. I had big plans in my backyard to build me a space rocket.
And savor those sips I did. And there it was, after over 2,000 miles, our first view of Katahdin.
Dancing in a candle, lighting up your living room.
It finally sinking in how little time we had left together, we tried to make the most of it by having as much off-trail fun as we could at Able Bridge.
Without any scandal. And then when you were done, you just put me out. I wish I was a tune you sang in your kitchen, putting your groceries away.
Until the time finally came for my final ramen bomb and our summit of Katahdin.
You gotta keep your heart young. Don't go growing old before your time has come. You can't take back what you have done. Go for it. You gotta keep your heart young. Dad took the wheels off of my bike and he pushed me down the hill. But speed got the best of me and I took my first spill. That was back when alcohol was only.
We took the hardest, aka most fun, route off the summit.
Mama said it would give me guts and keep your heart young. Don't go growing old before your time has come. You can't take back what you have done. You gotta keep your heart young. You gotta keep your heart young.
And when we really couldn't put it off any longer, we said goodbye, knowing that no matter how much we missed trail, the thing we would miss most was each other.